Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to see a short demo on the steps needed to prepare a maintenance plan.
We'll now proceed to create our backup maintenance plan. For that, we need to go to the Object Explorer, expand Management, and right-click on Maintenance Plans. There are two ways of doing this. One is New Maintenance Plan, and the other one is Maintenance Plan Wizard. We're going to use New Maintenance Plan for the purpose. First thing you need to do is name your maintenance plan. I'm going to name it Backup Maintenance Plan and click OK. This is the design for the maintenance plan. We need to have the toolbox open. The toolbox, if you open this for the first time, normally the toolbox might be on the far left as it is now. You need to click on that and then click on the auto hide. That way you can have the toolbox and the Object Explorer at the same time. There are tasks, because that's how they call it, that you can use for your maintenance plan. Here's a list of the tasks that you have to go beyond backup. First one is backup database. Then check database integrity, execute SQL Server agent job task, and many more. For the time being and the purpose, we're going to focus on backup database task. To create your first backup database task, you need to drag and drop it on this white section here. Once there, just double click on it, and you'll see this form. I'm going to explain in detail what this form does. First thing you're going to notice is that you have a connection. By default, you have a connection to your local server. If you need to, you can connect to another machine by clicking New. You provide a name for the connection. You provide the server IP or the name of the server if it's reachable. Then you provide your credentials, either Windows credentials or specific credentials. We're going to click Cancel for now. Now we'll explain the General tab. On the General tab, you have the Backup type. On the Backup tab, you have three choices. One is Full, Differential, and Transaction Log. We're going to choose Full. Then you have Databases. On databases, you can do several things. One, you can do individual backups per database. For example, you can say corporate data underscore is one and then the master database. Or you can click on all user databases. This will exclude system databases. You can select system databases only or all databases. When you select all databases, that means you're selecting user databases and system databases. You need to click this box here. It's very important because this will ignore any databases whose state is not online, meaning offline. That way we avoid error messages. Let's click OK. Then you have the backup to option. On the backup to, you have disk, tape, and URL. We only have disk, so we'll leave it as disk. Now, let's go to destination. On destination, we can specify several things about the backup files. One option here is backup database across one or more files. This will allow you to spread the backup files into multiple drives or locations if you need to. This option is more useful when it comes to one single big database. For example, if you have a terabyte level database, let's say 20 terabytes, a backup of that database, even if you use compression, is going to be pretty big. You might use the split option here to back up the database across one or more files. That way you can send some of the files to one drive and the rest of the files to other drives. In fact, SQL Server allows you to use up to 64 files per backup. This is something to consider. In our case, we're going to use create a backup file for every database. Optionally, we can create a subdirectory for each database. We're going to leave this unchecked. We can use a recommended path here for the backup files, or we can pick another one. In fact, we will pick another one on the Z drive, MySQL backup. Let's click OK. And optionally, we can even specify a file extension for the backup. In this case, The default file extension for all SQL backups is .bak or just BAK. You may change this to something else, or you could even blank it, but it's not recommended since even the Windows operating system can recognize backup files from SQL Server. Now let's see what we have in options. Under options, we have the set backup compression. We can either say use the default server settings, compress backup, or do not compress backup. Just to be on the safe side, I'm going to say compress backup. We also have backup set will expire. This is where we specify an expiration date for the backup. This is basically a tag on the backup file because even if you restore a backup file that's beyond the expiration date, it will still restore. This is the fourth option for backup, which is the copy only backup if we don't want to do just the full and have a complete copy of the database and not break the LSN, of course. We can do a perform checksum while doing the backup. We can do a verify backup integrity, which is good when you're restoring the backups. Continue on error will continue even if there is an error message during the backup process. And backup encryption. For backup encryption, and this is optional, you can use a certificate or an asymmetric key. For example, in this machine, I have a certificate. So if I want to use it, I just click on backup encryption. I pick up my algorithm. The best one is AES 256. And then I pick my certificate or asymmetric key. In this case, I have a certificate, which is called TDE_cert. And there it is. Additionally, we have all the parameters that we will not modify for this purpose, which are block size and max transfer size. For now, we're going to click OK. And the job is ready. As it is, it will not do much. So we need to schedule this job. To schedule this job, we're going to click over here on the sub plan. There's a small calendar. And the calendar basically will tell me the same information as on the SQL job. I can set up a name. I can set up a schedule type, frequency, daily, weekly, monthly. If it's weekly, I can set up a date. If it's daily, I can set up a time. If it's monthly, I can set up which day of the month it will start, and so on. When will it occur? Specific time, or how many times in a day, or let's say every 1 hour, every 1 minute, and so on. For this purpose, I'm gonna configure this on a future date. Let's say March 1st, just to give it a date. Click OK. Then right over here on the sub plan, I can see the date that this plan will start. Actually, it's March 1st, 2026. Once I'm done, I can close this assign, save, and I'm ready. Now, under maintenance plans, I have my backup maintenance plan. I can right click on it and modify it, execute it. I can rename it, delete it. And if I have custom reports, I can see some custom reports about the information on that backup maintenance plan.